Seoul was glowing that night. Neon lights reflected against wet pavement as rain fell steadily over Gangnam's luxury towers. Inside the tallest building overlooking the Han River stood a man who had everything. Except the one thing he could never admit he wanted. Kang Joon-ho, 34 years old, CEO, billionaire, feared, respected, and secretly broken. The city moved beneath him like a kingdom he owned. Yet he felt nothing. 2 months earlier, in a quiet private hospital room, a doctor had spoken the word that changed his life. Functional impotence, stress-induced, psychological, possibly permanent. The diagnosis wasn't just medical. It was humiliation. In the elite circles of Korea's chaebol families, weakness was unforgivable. A man like Joon-ho was supposed to produce heirs, continue legacy, strengthen alliances. Instead, rumors began whispering through boardrooms and banquet halls. He cannot perform. He's defective. He is not fit to lead. His father, Chairman Kang, didn't yell. He did something worse. He looked disappointed. Fix this, the chairman had said calmly. Or marry strategically. That night, Joon-ho made a decision. If they wanted a marriage, he would give them one they would never expect. Across the city, in Itaewon, music pulsed from a small rooftop cultural lounge decorated with Ankara fabrics draped over railings and paper lanterns glowing warmly. Amara Okafor stood near the balcony, wind brushing against her braids as she overlooked Seoul's skyline. She wore a modern hanbok-inspired dress designed by herself, deep emerald silk with gold African beadwork sewn into the sleeves. It was a fusion of two worlds. Like her, born in Lagos, raised in pride, studying international fashion in Korea, she had learned quickly that being black in Seoul meant being seen before being understood. But Amara carried herself like royalty. She refused to shrink. That night, a mutual acquaintance introduced her to Kang Joon-ho. He didn't smile when they met. He didn't bow deeply. He studied her like a business acquisition. "You're bold," he said. "You're staring," she replied calmly. For the first time in weeks, something almost resembled amusement crossed his face. 3 weeks later, headlines exploded. Kang Joon-ho to marry Nigerian student. Society erupted. Board members whispered. Social media burned. Chairman Kang was furious. "A foreigner, a black woman, you are humiliating this family." Joon-ho's answer was ice cold. "You wanted a marriage. I chose one." But what nobody knew was why he truly chose her. It wasn't love. It wasn't attraction. It was defiance. If the world believed he was broken, he would build a narrative so shocking it silenced them all. And Amara, she accepted the proposal for her own reasons. Her student visa was expiring. Her design scholarship funding had been cut. The marriage contract guaranteed financial security and independence. But she made one thing clear the night he offered. "I will not be your embarrassment. If we do this, you respect me." His response, "You will live comfortably. That is enough." She met his gaze without fear. "No, respect is enough." Something about her steadiness unsettled him. The wedding was grand. Traditional Korean musicians played the keokuum as Amara walked down the aisle in a breathtaking custom hanbok fused with Nigerian geli headrap elegance. Gold embroidery shimmered under crystal chandeliers. The elite of Seoul watched in disbelief. Some judged, some mocked, some stared at her skin like it was a statement. But she walked beside Joon-ho with quiet dignity. And when cameras flashed, she did not flinch. That night, the penthouse was silent. Rain tapped gently against the floor-to-ceiling glass overlooking the Han River. Amara removed her earrings slowly, placing them on the vanity. Joon-ho stood by the window, back turned. "This changes nothing," he said. "Of course it does," she replied softly. He stiffened. "You don't know anything about me." She approached carefully, her silk robe brushing against polished marble floors. "I know pain when I see it." His jaw tightened. "You pity me?" "No," she said firmly. "I see a man trying to punish the world because he feels powerless." Silence filled the room. He turned toward her for the first time that evening. Really looked at her, not as a rebellion, not as a headline, but as a woman. Her confidence wasn't loud. It was steady, grounded, unshaken, and something unfamiliar stirred in his chest. Not pressure, not expectation, but warmth. She stepped closer, not seductive, not demanding, just present. "You don't have to prove anything tonight," she whispered. For the first time since the diagnosis, the shame loosened its grip. The tension in his shoulders eased. The walls cracked, and what happened next was not about ego, not about pride, not about defiance. It was about release. Emotional, psychological, human. For the first time in months, he responded, not because he forced himself, but because he felt safe. The rain outside grew heavier. Inside the penthouse, something shifted forever. And Kang Joon-ho realized. He had not married a weapon. He had married a mirror. And she was showing him the man he used to be. But healing comes with consequences. Because the next morning, Chairman Kang was waiting, and he was not pleased. Morning in Seoul arrived cold. The rain had stopped, but the clouds still hung low over the Han River like unfinished business. Inside the Kang family estate, a traditional Hanok mansion hidden behind modern security gates, Chairman Kang sat at the head of a long wooden table carved from dark walnut. Sunlight filtered through the paper sliding doors. He did not drink his tea. He waited, and when Kang Junho entered, dressed sharply in a charcoal suit, the air thickened. "You look well rested," Chairman Kang said calmly. It wasn't a compliment. Junho bowed slightly. "You asked to see me. I saw the news." Pause. "You seem healthy." Junho didn't respond. Chairman Kang's sharp eyes narrowed. "You embarrassed this family by marrying her. Now I hear rumors that the marriage may not be as symbolic as I expected." Junho's jaw tightened. "This is my marriage." Chairman Kang leaned forward. "No, it is my legacy." Meanwhile, in the penthouse overlooking the river, Amara stood alone in the walk-in closet larger than her entire apartment back in Itaewon. She gently ran her fingers across rows of luxury Korean designer dresses. Silk, cashmere, muted elegance. Beautiful, but not her. She opened her suitcase instead. Inside were folded Ankara fabrics, vibrant reds, deep blues, bold geometric gold patterns. Her heritage, her identity, her strength. A soft knock interrupted her thoughts. It was Mrs. Park, the family-appointed house manager. "Madam," she said stiffly, barely masking her disapproval. "Chairman Kang has invited you to tea this afternoon." The words weren't an invitation. They were a test. Amara smiled politely. "I will attend." The Kang estate, afternoon. The traditional Hanok courtyard was breathtaking. Stone pathways, carefully trimmed bonsai trees, a small koi pond reflecting the sky. And at the center, Amara stood in a stunning custom outfit, a modern tailored cream joggery jacket styled over a fitted Ankara pencil skirt. Her geli was replaced with a sleek braided updo. Fusion, elegant, unapologetic. The household staff watched her carefully. Some curious, some judgmental, some whispering. When Chairman Kang entered, silence fell. He did not greet her warmly. "You may sit." Amara bowed respectfully before sitting. "I appreciate the invitation. This is not social," he replied. Direct, sharp. He studied her like she was a foreign object placed on his antique table. "You understand what you've stepped into?" "Yes," she answered calmly. "Do you?" His tone hardened. "My son is the heir to one of Korea's most powerful families. Our bloodline matters. Our image matters." She met his eyes. "And I do not." Chairman Kang's expression barely shifted. "You are unexpected." A subtle insult. Amara inhaled slowly. "I did not marry your son to erase myself." The chairman leaned back. "Love is irrelevant. This is about position." "And what position do you believe I hold?" she asked. His silence answered clearly. "Outsider, temporary, replaceable." At that moment, footsteps echoed through the courtyard. Junho, he had arrived unannounced. His eyes immediately found Amara sitting alone across from his father. "Why wasn't I informed of this meeting?" he asked coldly. Chairman Kang did not look at him. "Because this conversation is between adults." The insult was deliberate. Junho stepped closer. "She is my wife." Chairman Kang's voice dropped dangerously low. "She is a liability." The word hung in the air like a blade. Amara felt it, but she didn't flinch. Instead, she stood. "With respect, Chairman Kang," she said calmly, "if I am a liability, then your son chose me knowing that." Silence. Even the koi pond seemed still. For the first time, Chairman Kang looked at her with something different. Not approval, not acceptance, but recognition. "You are bold." "I am not weak," she replied. That night, back at the penthouse, tension followed them home. Junho loosened his tie, pacing near the windows. "You shouldn't have gone alone." "I wasn't afraid," Amara answered. "That's not the point." "Then what is?" He stopped pacing. "They will try to break you." She stepped closer. "Why?" "Because they think you broke me." The words were quiet, raw, vulnerable. She searched his face. "Did I?" His breath slowed. "No." The word was firm. "You reminded me who I was." A long silence passed between them. The city lights flickered outside. "I didn't marry you to hurt you," he continued. "I know." "Then why did you marry me?" he asked suddenly. She smiled softly. "Because I saw a man hiding behind pride. And I don't run from broken things." Something shifted again in his eyes. This wasn't revenge anymore. It wasn't rebellion. It was becoming something neither of them planned. He stepped closer, gently brushing a strand of hair from her face. "No one speaks to my father like that. No one disrespects me like that," she replied. For a brief second, they both laughed, and the tension dissolved. But outside their world, Chairman Kang was already making calls. Investigating her past, her family, her visa history, her finances, because power does not surrender quietly. And he intended to prove that this marriage was a mistake. The next morning, a scandalous article leaked online. Was the billionaire manipulated? Foreign wife's financial records questioned. Amara stared at her phone in disbelief. Her scholarship, her family, her integrity, under attack. Junho's expression turned lethal. This was him. Amara exhaled slowly. "They want me to feel small." Junho looked at her carefully. Do you? She lifted her chin. No, for the first time, he didn't see a woman he married for spite. He saw a queen standing in a storm, and something protective ignited inside him. Not pride, not ego, but loyalty, and loyalty was far more dangerous, because if Chairman Kang wanted war,
he was about to realize something. He hadn't just challenged a foreign bride, he had awakened his son. The attack did not stop with one article. By evening, Seoul's elite media circles were buzzing. Foreign opportunist, gold digger bride, visa marriage, the word spread like wildfire. And at the center of it all, Amara Okafor, inside the Kong corporate headquarters in Gangnam, executives avoided eye contact as Junho walked through the marble lobby. His presence felt different now. Not distant, not numb, focused, dangerous. He entered the boardroom without greeting anyone. Who authorized the press release? His voice was calm, too calm. No one answered, because they all knew. Chairman Kong sat at the head of the table. I did, he said plainly. The room stiffened. Junho did not shout. He didn't need to. You are attacking my wife. I am protecting this family, Chairman Kong replied. Your emotions are clouding your judgment. Junho's eyes darkened. She is not a weakness. She is a distraction. The word hit like a slap. And in that moment, the final thread of obedience between father and son snapped. You taught me legacy was about strength, Junho said quietly. Yet you fear a woman who refuses to bow. Chairman Kong leaned forward. I fear scandal. Then perhaps, Junho replied coldly, you should fear me. The boardroom fell silent, because they had never seen him like this. Alive. Meanwhile, outside a luxury fashion exhibition hall in Seoul, cameras flashed violently. Amara had been invited weeks ago to present her Afro-Korean fusion designs. Now, reporters waited like vultures. Mrs. Kong, are you using the marriage for money? Is it true your scholarship was failing? Did you trap him? The noise was overwhelming, but Amara stepped out of the black sedan gracefully. She wore a breathtaking outfit. A structured modern hanbok silhouette tailored in deep royal blue Ankara fabric, embroidered with delicate gold Korean crane patterns. Her braided crown was styled elegantly, and her heels clicked confidently against the pavement. She did not run, she did not hide, she walked forward. Inside the exhibition hall, Korean traditional instrumental music blended with soft Afrobeat rhythms, symbolizing everything she stood for. Unity, fusion, identity. She stepped onto the stage. The whispers followed her, but when she spoke, her voice was steady. I did not come to Korea to take, she began. I came to create. She gestured to her designs displayed behind her, models wearing flowing garments blending Giagori cuts with bold African prints. I am proud of where I come from, and I respect where I am. The room quieted. I will not shrink to fit someone else's comfort. Cameras captured everything, and somewhere across the city, Chairman Kong watched the live stream, his expression unreadable. Back at headquarters, Junho received a notification. He watched the broadcast on his tablet, and for the first time, he smiled openly, not because she defended him, but because she didn't need him to. That realization shook him. That night, the penthouse felt warmer than usual. Amara stood near the window, the city lights reflecting in her eyes. You didn't have to fight him today, she said softly. I wanted to. Why? He stepped closer. Because this isn't a contract anymore. The confession lingered between them. She searched his face carefully. Junho, if this becomes war, it will not be easy. He brushed his thumb gently along her jawline. I was numb before you. His voice lowered. I would rather feel everything than return to that emptiness. Her breath hitched slightly, and for a moment, the world outside didn't exist. No headlines, no family expectations, just two people standing in quiet understanding. He pulled her gently into his arms. Not possessive, protective, and she rested her head against his chest. The rain began again outside, soft and steady. And if you're enjoying this story so far, if you love powerful Afro-Korean romance filled with drama and passion, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to this channel so you never miss the next chapter. Because trust me, this is only the beginning. The next morning, a legal document arrived at the penthouse. Chairman Kang's final move, a clause buried deep within the family trust. If Junho's marriage caused public instability in company value, he could be removed as CEO. And the board had already been influenced. Amara read the document slowly. They're trying to choose your power, or me. Junho didn't hesitate. They already forced me to choose once. His eyes locked onto hers. I won't make that mistake again. But outside their glass walls, Investors were nervous, board members were divided, and Chairman Kong was preparing something bigger. Because humiliation hadn't worked, fear hadn't worked, now, he would attempt separation. That night, as Seoul glittered beneath them, Jun-ho held Amara close. And for the first time in his life, he realized strength wasn't dominance. It wasn't reputation. It wasn't bloodline. It was loyalty. And loyalty was about to cost him everything.